day we are together again. On the day we are together again, I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again, we will share the same table again. We will share the same table again. I will pass you the salt, the candlelight will bend when we share the same table again. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will walk around the block hand in hand. We will stop for a snack at the taco truck stand when we walk around the block hand in hand. Someday we will go back to work. Someday we will go back to work. May we be among people who respect our work. Someday we will go back to work. I will write you a letter for now. I will write you a letter for now. Hope is a message that survives somehow. I will write you a letter for now. I will help the strangers I meet. I will help the strangers I meet. It is possible to get back on our feet. I will help the strangers I meet. To the healers who keep us alive. To the healers who keep us alive. A toast to your courage, knowledge and light. To the healers who keep us alive. And the ones we love who are gone. And the ones we love who are gone. We remember the stories and we sing the songs for the ones we love who are gone. And on the day we are together.
Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time. Today is January 13th, 2024. It's good to see you all in chat. Thank you so much for joining me. You could have chosen to be anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I'm thankful for that. So, couple things. We are going to be starting a new case today. I had a couple creators from different platforms reach out to me and asked me to do this case, and it's been going on, so we're going to play catch up a little bit. And we're also going to be talking about Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerra, and Ethan Soto, which is Savannah's brother. We're going to learn a little bit about what happened to him. And, we still don't know exactly. I still feel like there's something we're not understanding why Savannah and Matthew were taken. They say because it's drugs, going like a drug deal gone bad, but you have to think about it in just a matter of 4 or 5 minutes. How does something go bad that quick? Think about it. How does something go bad that quick? Was there something that was owed? Did Matthew owe someone? Did someone owe Matthew? Didn't want to pay him? Was this revenge of some sort? Now, clearly, specifically, Savannah's family have lost so much. Three in their family. Of course, Savannah, and of course, Ethan and baby Fabian, which they did get to see baby Fabian, and they said that he looked a lot like Savannah. Uh, it had to be a planned robbery, Sin said. It makes you wonder. It really makes you wonder. It's something moved very quickly, and I don't think there was enough time for something to go bad that quick, in my opinion, to make you unalive Matthew, unalive Savannah, and clearly looking at her belly, you could tell she was very, very pregnant. Such a path of destruction for so many. Exactly, wake up. And not to mention the countless families you just destroyed, or at least tried to. Hopefully, they can pick up the pieces and carry on. But, you know, the Soto family, God bless them. The Guerra family, God bless them. And even, Christopher's, his dad and or his mom and I guess dad, I don't know. He destroyed that. They've got family members that I'm sure obviously doesn't agree with what they did. So is the emergency public or private? What do you mean? I don't understand. Things can happen very fast, but I believe premeditated. It can happen very fast, but it this was, there was obviously, they obviously put Christopher's address in. They had clearly had dealings before. I'm pretty confident based on everything I've learned that they have had dealings before for sure. He had to grab the weapon first before leaving home. That is true. That is true, and it's a very good point where the wind blows. And of course, the weapons was his mother's. Um, Sadly, has great loss, and even for some reason had to postpone the funeral. Yes, creatively inspired by Denise. Thank you for bringing that up. We are going to be talking about that. The funeral was supposed to be today for Savannah and baby Fabian. They did postpone it and we'll look at it here in just a second. Esme says, "I'm sure San Antonio Police Department knows everything by now." I would think so. This is a very high profile case San Antonio has on them right now. This is hopefully going to be a death penalty case. It checks all of the boxes pretty much for Texas standard in death penalty cases. Hey everyone, how about heading to the thumbs up? Linda, I like the way you think. Yes, if you guys don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, it is a great way to, a simple, effective way to help spread the word on these cases for the people that are missing or need justice. Absolutely. Matthew's brother loved him very much. Yeah, yes, he did. I'm going to play a video actually here in a moment about Matthew's brother. Hello, Stephanie. Good to see you. Thank you. Family emergency for Savanah's family. Yes. Fabian could have been the reason to change their lifestyle. Yes, I mean, I hear you and I understand. Um, I still don't understand why Savannah was with Matthew. You know what I mean? I don't understand that. I don't understand that part. Were they already out? Marty, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family.
Everybody ride it in Jesus' name. This train. Let's ride the train.
Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Justin for All train. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I think she must have known him. So there is rumor, speculation that Christopher did talk to Savanah and that he has talked to Savanah since approximately May of 2023. Now, she's, from what I have gathered, I've heard that she was a little bit, or that she kind of felt sorry for him. Um, so I bet you guys don't know who sung that song right there. I bet you none of you know. It's called This Train. Don't Google it. It's an old singer. It's a very old singer. Is my headache gone? No. I heard she was dealing too. So, uh, the what I think she was doing, I think she took a lot of the phone calls and maybe um did a lot of the back and forth with people. But if she was, both families all deal. I heard she wasn't a deal. I don't think she was a dealer. I don't think she was a dealer. I've seen the live interview with Savannah's friend, and she told a lot. Yep, 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 yep. All right. So there's obviously 3 arrests now. Let me show you this briefly. While was it Elvis Presley? No. That singer, her name is Sister Loretta Tharp. And she was one of the probably one of the first singers of rock and roll, of like before Elvis. I mean, Elvis knew her and stuff, but that's, hopefully it doesn't copyright me. I just took a little thing out. I'm praying it doesn't, so I can keep it. So this is Savanah Soto's obituary, and this is the funeral home that took care of Savannah's brother too. So you can also find Ethan's on here as well. Savanah Nicole Soto, August 22nd, 2005 to December 26, 2023. Savanah Nicole Soto, age 18. It just looks 18, y'all. passed away on Tuesday, December 26, 2023. Savanah was born in San Antonio, Texas. A visitation for Savanah will be held Monday, January 15th. So the 15th now is what it's saying, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Sunset Northwest Funeral Home, 6321 Bandera Road, San Antonio, Texas. A rosary will be recited on Monday, January 15th at 7 p.m. at Sunset Northwest Funeral Home at the same location. A funeral mass will be celebrated on Tuesday, January 16th at 10 p.m. at St. John Evangelical Catholic Church, 4603 St. John Way, San Antonio. And she will be, I guess, placed in the Wildflower Cemetery in San Antonio, Texas. Arrangements under the director of Cook Butler Funeral Home, Edna, Texas. And you can send flowers, memories, and even get updates and stuff there as well. Yep, it's always, yep, the day you're found, technically. Yeah. So there is that. Lots of prayers to the family. Matthew has already had his service as well. Gwen, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you for 5 months. Thank you, my love. And Gwen gifted 1 membership.
Everybody ride it in Jesus' name. This train. Let's ride the train.
Welcome to the family. Whoever got that, please give Gwen a big thank you. Big thank you. Denise, thank you so much. I love you, dear. Thank you for 1 month. Appreciate you. I'm wondering, what was the family's issue that put her funeral back? We're going to talk about it. Just 1 minute. 1 minute, promise. Matthew has already had his services. Here is a little bit of. So they did that. It's very heartbreaking for 22 years old. Well, I mean, what do you say? What do you say about something like that? Senseless. They were really at the beginning of their life, where they're just starting a family and excited. They were so excited about meeting baby Fabian. and this happened. Yeah, Karen, a lot of people feels that way, and we're going to learn. We're going to learn as this, continues and evolves. In these stories, there's always something coming out. Now, if hopefully, but you want prosecutors to get it right, but hopefully it's not going to take a year or two before, a, a court hearing. Hopefully it'll go faster. I personally think that the prosecutors have a lot. I mean, quite a bit. We've got video footage of them leaving their location. Christopher, his dad, his mom, leaving the location, going and then coming back. We've got them on camera, and God only knows what else prosecutors have. So, I think it's going to be a pretty much a slam dunk case. However, if they continue to go with the death penalty, it is so, so, so much more complicated, because you are literally putting someone to death. And those types of trials require a lot. Yes, Deb, I'm sure that there will be uh, definitely more charges to come. What was the website of Savanah's obituary? Oh man, I just literally exited out of it. What I'll try to do if I see you is in here, I'll you can just Google Savanah Soto obituary, funeral home maybe. And if that doesn't work, then I'll post the link on my community wall for you. Oh, thank you, Mountain Cat. Thank you, my dear. I hope they charge for the yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And um I'm sure that they will. All right. So it has been the funeral was postponed, and it's going to be in a couple more days. And it says the funeral for 18-year-old Savanah Soto and her unborn child Fabian has been postponed. Gloria Cordova, Savanah's mother, confirmed that the funeral has been postponed due to a family emergency. Now, they don't state what family emergency or anything. Hey, Cher, good to see you, dear. They don't state what family emergency, they just say family emergency. The funeral date has not yet been released and will be postponed until further notice. Now, the funeral home, it says as of now, I don't know if it's updated, but it is for January 15th. Today is the 13th, and it says the 15th. So as of now, I'm guessing that it's going to be the 15th, but the media is saying until further notice. They're not sure. So there's that. Oh, no. Yes. We'll play this video in just 1 second. 1 second. Okay, we're gonna play this video. Bear with me 1 second.
have some breaking updates to pass along for you. We have learned the funeral services for Savanah Soto and her unborn baby Fabian have been postponed. Their viewing was supposed to happen tomorrow and a funeral on Saturday, but we just got word from the family they are dealing with another family emergency, so those services will happen at a later date.
Also today, San Antonio police arrested a third person connected to the murder case of the pregnant teen and her boyfriend.
So yesterday, authorities arrested a woman they say is related to the two other suspects. This is a picture of 47-year-old Marta Romanos. Police believe that her gun was the one that was used in the murders. She is the stepmom to the suspected killer, Christian Preciado, and the wife of his father, Ramon Preciado Jr., who was accused of helping Christian, his son, move those bodies. Marta Romanos will be charged with 3 felonies, altering, destroying, or concealing a human corpse, also a charge of abusing a corpse, and also tampering with evidence. Police believe they now have arrested all of the suspects.
As of right now, are you under the impression there are any more suspects?
At this time, we're confident that there's no more suspects. At this time, we're confident that these were the 3 individuals that were involved in this case.
The police would not say where Matthew Guerra and Savanah Soto were killed, except they do know it was near the suspect's home.
And just one day after laying his son to rest, Matthew Guerra's father says the arrest is right on time.
Perfect timing with God and, just giving me comfort or something to help me during a difficult time.
All right, so they just say for an illness. Giselle, thank you so much for gifting 5 members.
Everybody ride it in Jesus' name. This train. Let's ride the train.
Welcome to the family, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please thank our beloved Giselle for gifting 5 memberships. Very sweet. So there is that. Off topic, but I just watched Boy George's journey through his family history. So interesting. All right, Matthew's father did do an interview. You just saw a clip of it there just a moment ago.
To me, it's how the detective told me she was uncooperative until like they did the perp walk, that she was just not cooperative at all. To me, like she showed no remorse or, but yeah, it was shocking that it was her gun and she knew about it the whole time. She didn't come forward. And
I mean, now it seems like, this horrendous crime is a family affair. That for me, that's hard to comprehend.
Yes.
Do you guys think the families, I don't know. Never mind.
That the mother, the stepmother, and the father, and it's like they were all just covering up for each other and basically looking out for themselves and not worried about, the victims and everyone else, especially seeing all the coverage on the funeral and how much grief there was and how much pain this caused for all 3 families.
Certainly caused a lot of pain for 3 families. This was her GUN. And someone just mentioned a moment ago, he had to go get the GUN. Unless he carried a gun with him every single time he went and done a deal, but I wonder if he had any guns in his name. I don't understand why the mother would help unalive a young pregnant girl and her boyfriend. You see, I don't think she helped unalive. I think after the fact she helped, but she didn't help unalive. The crazy thing is nobody heard a pew pew. Nobody heard a pew pew. And you think, all right, Now, it was New Year's, right? We were right around New Year's. There's a lot of fireworks right around New Year's. Did somebody think it was a firework? Maybe. You know, do you hear pew pews all the time in that area? And you just, go back to bed. That's family affair. Yes, single mom. You get used to the sound. Yes, Deb. Exactly. I think you just kind of get used to the sound anymore. Am I mistaken? Because the presser, I thought the spokesperson said that all three Prescados were on camera getting into the truck, leaving the residence. Yes. Yes. Yeah. You're absolutely right. All three of them were seen leaving the residence and returning minutes later. She has absolutely been arrested. As a matter of fact, I would like to show y'all a little something in her Ozzy Osbourne shirt. Ugh. Now, there is no volume to this, but this is old elbow grease lady. Yes, and she absolutely did misspoke. She did, yes. I feel like the family knew a lot more than they're saying. I do too, Coach, because clearly they said, they believe that Savanah was just, she wasn't intentionally, I mean, she was intentionally harmed, but she wasn't the focus. They were looking for Matthew, and Savanah just happened to be there. I agree, Sin. That's odd. Where Matthew and Savanah is the car dead already, or was it to meet them as a group? No, no. Mountain Cat, this was all Christopher's. This is her signing her rights where she understands what she's being charged for, that she is in a mind frame to understand, and that has been explained what she's being charged for. Esme says, Presser said all three were seen leaving the residence, Myrta getting into the truck and returning, all three in the black truck. Sounds to me Christopher was in the Kia on the footage at the house. Yes. Yep. Savanah was collateral damage. Wrong place, wrong time. Yep. Justin, give it a few more days and her interrogation will be online. Yeah. I need to FOIA, go ahead and make a FOIA request for those. So when they're released. So where did they go? Well, I will show you in just one moment. Christopher clearly looks like his mother. In fact, dead ringer, when I first saw Christopher, I was like, is that a man or a woman? I wasn't really sure. Oh, I see. He's already done it for me. Thank you. I see you. Should have FOIA'd everything last week. Thank you, lovey. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you. So there she is. All right. So if you look here, this is from Brittany Jordan online. If you look here, this is their home, right? And we're going to show you just how close this is. This is Danny K. Drive, rather. Danny K. Drive. Look how incredibly right here. This, take a left, take a left, take a right there. I mean, it is. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If they really sucked at crime, really did, which is great for police officers and prosecutors and everything, because they parked so close. They didn't, wipe things down good. They didn't hide their car. They never hid their GUN. There was definitely nothing professional about this. They had camera coverage, right? Doorbell coverage. Like, you could tell, a 19-year-old did this crime, really. And to be honest with you, I mean, the the parents of this, they should have just absolutely called and said, listen, my son just did something horrendous, and be done with it. But now their lives are forever changed. Forever changed. All three left the house together. Okay. So, okay, I see what you're saying, Mountain Cat. So Christopher the Kia was at the home, or we'll say near the home, and the parents, what's his name? I keep wanting to say Romano. The parents, they got in their truck. Christopher got in the Kia and drove it down to where I just showed you there. So, and then I guess Christopher got in the truck after Roman, that's his name. Roman got in Roman's truck. You feel like there's more people involved? I see. I don't feel like there's more people in. I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, sometimes I feel like, was there just something drug related between the two? Did he want to rob him? People may have thought it was fireworks. Yeah, well, you got to remember, it was right around New Year's, right? Christmas time, New Year's, people celebrate. So, definitely could be. All right.
New details from the investigators who have pieced together an updated timeline. All of the events, according to police, unfolding in a small neighborhood in Leon Valley, all within blocks of each other. We start at the beginning. The new arrest affidavit reveals that the murders actually happened 2 days before 18-year-old Savanah Soto and Matthew Guerra were reported missing late on December 21st, sometime before midnight. According to investigators who looked at cell phone records, Matthew Guerra had searched for Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive, and his vehicle records show he went there. According to the father of Christopher Paseado, that is where his son attempted to buy marijuana from Guerra, and depending on who you talk to, a fight ensued. Minutes later, that Kia Optima moved to 5903 Danny K. Drive to an apartment complex parking lot, only to be joined minutes later.
All right, so here we have Roman and I forget her name. I always forget her name. Elbow Lady. in the truck, right? They're leaving their house. Christopher is in this car getting ready to pull up. Christopher, they all left their house. Christopher's driving the Kia. Elbow Lady and Ramon are in the truck. They're dropping this vehicle off. Christopher drops off this vehicle. He gets in the truck. They drive back a 2-minute drive, 3 minutes max to their home. They leave in 2 cars, 2 different vehicles, obviously one being Matthew's car, and they are seen coming back together in the one truck.
Later, by Ramon Preciado's Silverado pickup.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Adabelle, thank you. Welcome to the family.
Everybody ride it in Jesus' name. This train. Let's ride the train.
Welcome to the family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. Y'all guys, welcome, Eden.
Police say the surveillance video shows the truck pulling in with its lights off, and Ramon and Christopher appear to have some sort of an exchange. Then the two drive to the back of the complex. It would be another day on December 23rd that both families were so worried they called the Leon Valley Police Department. The two had not been seen for days, and Savanah had not shown up for her appointment to deliver her baby. Fast forward 3 more days to the day after Christmas. That's when Leon Valley PD was tipped off that Guerra's car was in that apartment parking lot, and the 2 corpses of the would-be parents were found, both with gunshot wounds to their heads. 7 days later, police act on cell phone tracking information, and they think they've solved the mystery. Just last night, blocks away from the crime scene at that same Charlie Chan Drive and Cary Grant Drive area, Ramon Preciado was confronted by police.
Okay, is this better, all in things? Ramon Preciado. Ramon Preciado. Is that better? I'm Appalachian here, okay? I don't do good. Oh God, my sister, she speaks fluent Spanish, and we weren't raised together, but so she speaks fluent Spanish, and I'm Appalachian. I'm like, Ramon, sorry, gotcha. All right, work with what we got. I'm too Southern. Although Texas is Southern, but it's different. Southern.
Who they say quickly admitted to his involvement and that of his son.
Keep up to date with all of San Antonio's top news, weather, and so much more by clicking the like and subscribe buttons below. And once again, thanks for watching KSAT.
Listen, Boo, you have to vibrate when you're speaking.
Use PDF Filler to edit documents anytime, anywhere, from any device.
You vibrate. Listen, you vibrate when you're speaking. Ramon. Yeah, don't quit my day job. I know, exactly. Preciado. It's always like there'll be no, I'm not, never mind. I'm not gonna say it because then I'll get fried. Okay, carrying on. Let's see what else we got here. So we are gonna I do want to talk a little bit about Savanah's brother, about that case as well. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have yeah, Matthew Guerra's case, or Matthew Guerra's brother rather. He did some speaking the other day.
These from Cuties are really good. I call it Cutie, but it's called Quick Trip. My face. Look how dirty I got my hat yesterday. Who? My brother's head. He was trying, man, bro. I'll put that dude on the shit. Oh.
Sorry, I was muted. I did want to state something because I did highlight the question earlier. So, yes, the crime happened outside of the Presciato home. It happened outside of the home. And, well, this is what police say. Police say it happened near the home. It may not happen in, so, outside the home and or near the home is what it is. How do you say 102 eggs in Spanish? I don't know. Uno. I don't know what 0 is. Uno, 0, dos. Ego. Ego.
Oh man, dude, all these people just talking crap about my, all these people saying so negative things about my brother, saying all these negative things about my brother, ain't about nothing. I ain't modding you. I don't know who you are. Be careful what I say. Freedom of fucking speech. I can say anything I want. I will not be charged. I will not be prosecuted. I got a lawyer. What do you mean? I can say anything I want. Everybody can go. Anybody can go and run their mouth on the internet, but in person they get scared. So
babies, like they're babies, and it happens. We all make.
Waiting for the paramedics to get there so they can break the window and get inside, and that's why they were waiting for paramedics to get there. No, the cops didn't break it. The paramedics broke it. The cops were just standing there like imbeciles, just waiting for the paramedics to get there so they can break the window and get inside. And that's why we were getting so mad, because so somebody was saying that they're already dead, but I was like, well, the baby, like check the baby, save the baby. Like if the baby can be saved, save my nephew. Like, and these assholes were just standing around the car, not opening it, not doing their job. They said, "Oh, it's out of our jurisdiction. We're waiting for the paramedics." And the paramedics took like 10 minutes to get there. So, I just feel like they could have saved the baby, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, because
They could not have saved the baby. That I absolutely assure you. Now, the reason they had the paramedics there was because they needed to do a death call, is the reason. But I mean, maximum you're going to save a baby after a mother dies is about 20 minutes, and that's really pushing it.
like I said, they could have been dead for days. Some people are saying that they got killed like that day. I don't know. There's a lot of things going around, but I just felt like they could have put their time and try to save the baby.
Yeah, they definitely could have done more, and I think even now they definitely could do more. And I think like all of us on, especially on like this live, like we want justice for your family and for Matthew and Savanah and the baby, like Fabian. Like we want justice for them, and nobody is judging you whatsoever. And I think everybody is so grateful that you're even coming on here tonight. And all of our heart, like all these people that are on here, we care. We definitely like care. So you know, the only thing that I fear is that, like, I know that it's young kids and they probably called like that freaking fat guy whatever.
To be honest with you, baby Fabian had the most tragic of the deaths. Just the way it's too much to talk about, but his wasn't as quick.
Whatever to come
Sad.
and help them. But my fear is like they're in Mexico or they have like I just want justice for them. Do you think that we're like you guys will ever get justice for them?
I hope they
I
will.
pray that we do.
I know
What will be
facts.
justice,
This
though?
case is gonna get justice. That's facts. They're gonna get their justice.
I can't. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to just say the wrong things. But we're gonna get justice regardless. That's all I'm gonna say. We'll get justice regardless. Eventually we will get justice regardless. That's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, we're just praying right now that we get justice as soon as possible. We don't want to wait months and months and months for this to go on, and they don't have any leads or anything like that. Like that's what we
Steven,
don't want.
Does your family have like a lawyer that you guys can talk to and can give you advice how to handle this and how to, you know?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that it has anything to do with Savannah's brother? What happened with him?
Don't send me gifts. Send Steven gifts. Don't send me none.
I don't believe that at all. Like I said, my brother had a lot of enemies, but he also had a lot of fake friends, people that portrayed themselves as, you know, his buddy, but they clearly weren't. So, like I said, it could be anybody. It could be anybody. But I believe it was somebody that was like close to him, like not close to him, but that knew him very, very well.
You know, I was wondering before, and this has probably never happened. I mean, we know that Matthew has had pew-pews pointed and shot at him before, but I don't think Christopher was one of those people that ever did that to him before. I don't think he would go there, you know, having been. Oh, thank you, Nana. I don't think, you know, he's ever came through and, you know, pew-pewed at him before. I don't think, knowing from what we hear, Christopher's like that he was just kind of a loner and a stoner. He doesn't seem like the type that would do this, and I think Matthew's guard was probably down during that time. I don't think he ever thought Christopher would do something like this. And, you know, sometimes it's the ones you least expect it. Marie says, in my opinion, the law enforcement dropped the ball. They got the dates wrong. They took too long to find them. If you even look for the affidavit so much, the wrong information, they could have found them on the 23rd, not the 26th. They were really close. As long as they had the suspect, you know. Heard Chris was a custody. They felt okay around him. So it's odd if he pulled the trigger, in my opinion, if it's true. Yeah. Maybe someone paid the Presciatos to get rid of it. I've wondered that, Phoenix. I've wondered that myself. I'm sure they robbed Matthew and Savanah, probably had them bring a lot and just didn't want to pay for it. You know, if you, what is that? if you I don't know, it may be. I don't know. Are the ones he supposedly snitched related to Chris? That's a good point, Ladybug. You know, it's do we know that he actually really snitched on anyone, or was it just a rumor? You know what I mean? And prosecutors are going to and police obviously are going to find out all of this. Who was selling and who was buying. Exactly, Deb. We think of Christopher being the buyer, but don't forget, Matthew put that he was, restocking that day, shall we say. And if he was restocking that day, well, who was he restocking from? Was he restocking from Christopher? Maybe, maybe not. In my opinion, it was to rob. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Justin, what is your take on dad and son meet up at the same time from opposite directions? I just think that they went around the building different ways. Restocking, re-up, yeah, same thing. Restocking, that this was not. Oh, it definitely wasn't a cartel or anything like that. They would have had someone much more professional than a 19-year-old dude that is really a doofus, to be quite honest with you. Wondering if someone went to his apartment to get his stuff before the family. Hmm. You never know. You never know. Yeah, way too sloppy to be a cartel. Way, way, way too sloppy. Maybe they pew-pewed Matthew in the apartment complex and the dad helped move the body back. They drove to the apartment building together. Well, the problem is according to the police officers, the unalivings happened near Chris's and Ramon's home. Justin, for all my last comment. In an interview yesterday, a friend said Chris always had money on him, so I think he was robbed. She said they must felt comfortable with the person because Matthew didn't have a weapon on him. Yes, exactly. Matthew always carried weapons, and a lot of them. He carried them in his car, on his person, even he would carry a knife with him as well. The way I think of it is maybe Savanah and Matthew was going out to get, go to a restaurant, fast food, very late, and Chris said, "Hey, can you meet me here in a little bit?" They met, and Matthew was just taken very much off guard, would have never expected this from Christopher. Robbery gone very wrong. Christopher being. Did you see Christopher being a him man? What's a him man? If Matthew was taken care of outside the car, most likely blood on the street, I'm sure police would have looked on the road. Yes, but again, the problem with that is it took days, and weather sets in. Also, not to mention, I am sure Chris one thing he did. If there was any type of blood outside, he would have went and cleaned that up in the night time, in my opinion. So yeah, there's that. All right, we watched that one. All right, now let's learn. We hear a lot about Savanah's brother, but none of us really know a lot about it. What'd you forget about? You should watch Chronicle last night. Had the person that knew both. That knew Christopher. I've talked to someone who knows Christopher, if that's what you mean. Could the weapon have a silencer? It could have. Yes, it could have. Absolutely could have had a silencer. When they wiped the car, I believe that's where Matt was unalive at the back order side, standing. Yeah, I wonder if he was like standing by his car. We'll have to see. Dad has already lied, saying it's a fake story. I don't get this. I don't get this father. I don't get the father. He's dumb as box of rock, because he's like, oh, fake news, fake news, fake news. And then the police walk to the door and they're like, hi, may we speak with you? Oh, hold on. I know what you're here for. Let me get my son. Son, come here. I mean, that doesn't seem like fake news to me. Yeah. Butter biscuit. Thank you so much. 2 months. Thank you, lovey. Appreciate ya. Daddy was the drug man. But if it was muzzled to the skin, wouldn't its sound be muffled? Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's some kickback, but it's more muffled. It's more muffled, to say that, they cooked up. Yeah, I wonder, a lot of people's like, well, maybe the face of the business, they still did heating and cooling, but did they also, were they suppliers and dealers? They could have definitely been suppliers and dealers, and that just been the face of the business, so to say. Dad didn't even know what the story was that was being reported. Ramon probably believed that that it was self-defense. Possibly. Now, Christopher fed a big line of BS, huge line of BS, stating that it was self-defense. No. No. Yes. Exactly. I believe someone heard the pew-pews, but just not coming forward because they labeled a snitch. Oh, I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Do you think they saw the video before they got arrested? Oh, 1000%. They were all over the platforms. Cannot kill an armed man by yourself unless you sneak up, David Ray says. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can kill an armed man, but if you're not expecting it, right? I can have, a weapon on my side and, be with a friend or whatever and think, your guard's down, right? And they just pull out something and, you're not expecting it. They absolutely can remain anonymous, yes. He had drag marks on him, so he definitely was not unalived by the car. He was unalived someplace else and dragged by the car. He did have drag marks. But if it's like on the asphalt or something and you just drag just a few feet, that can leave marks itself. Also, have you seen oh yeah, I've read the affidavit, read it here several times. Marlena says she sent something. Okay, you sent something. Marlena, you sent something that was unrelated to the case? Is that what you meant? Something about Summer? Is that what you said? Is that what you meant? Okay, let's look at this. All right, Leon Valley case incident number. Leon Valley. EMS arrived and broke the driver's side window to open the door to the listed vehicle and checked on victim 1 and victim 2. Victim 1 was pronounced deceased at 16:23 and S1 was pronounced deceased at 16:24 by EMS. Shortly after, homicide units obtained a search warrant for the vehicle. CSI redacted processed it for evidence. Once the door was listed, vehicle was open. I observed victim 1 in the passenger seat and her head facing the passenger side window. Blood coming from victim's nose, and victim 1 appeared to be pregnant. So this has to be the paramedics report. Okay. Victim 2 was located in the second row behind the driver's seat. Victim 2's back was facing the left passenger door, and the victim 2's legs were facing the right passenger door. Okay, so his back is facing the left passenger door. Okay. Victim 2 pants were to his knees. The chat's stalling? My chat is stalling. Oh, your chat is stalling. Okay. Wow. All right. And capital murder, other felony, December 23rd, 2023. Offense date, December 26th. Savanah Soto, Matthew Guerra, native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander. Passenger car number. There was no firearm found in the vehicle. There was also conflicting date to when people were saying they saw the vehicle parked in the back parking lot. Detective Redacted was on the scene and advised me to appear. It appears victim 1 and victim 2 were shot in the back of the head by suspect 1. Where this took place is unknown. Sergeant B Redacted and Sergeant Redacted made the scene. A crime scene log was created. ME Redacted was also notified and made location to take custody of victim 1 and victim 2. ME cases number redacted for victim 1 and redacted for victim 2 were assigned by the ME investigator on scene cover officers radioed for contact wrecker and followed the vehicle to 9th Street. At the time, no further action was taken. At the listed time and date, I was dispatched to above address for an officer in trouble call. I arrived on scene and assisted the Leon Valley Police Department officer with crowded control. I was then informed that victim 1 is a missing person that was reported missing, redacted, by Leon Valley Police Department. Today, Leon Valley PD received a phone call for a woman who identified herself as sister-in-law to victim 1, which would be Savanah, and advised Leon Valley PD that the listed vehicle was parked at the listed location. Leon Valley PD case number for the incident is redacted. Leon Valley Police Department officers arrived and made contact with the vehicle. At the time, there was multiple family members at the location, so the officer called for assistance. Shortly after, my cover officers and I arrived. EMS arrived and broke the driver's side window to open the door to the listed vehicle and check on victim 1 and victim 2. Victim 1 was pronounced deceased at 1623 hours, and S1 was pronounced deceased at 1624 by EMS. EMS left shortly after. Homicide unit obtained a search warrant for the vehicle. CSIR redacted, processed it for evidence. Once the doors to the listed vehicle were open, I observed victim 1 in the passenger seat with her head facing the passenger window, blood coming from her nose, and victim 1 appeared to be pregnant. Victim 2 was located at the second row behind the driver's seat. Victim's 2 back was facing the left passenger door, and victim 2's legs were facing the right passenger door. Victim 2's pants were to his knees. I wonder. Wow. Law enforcement also stated they were last seen on the 22nd, yet there were unalived on the 21st near midnight. So, again, wrong info in law enforcement. No, but it would need to be confirmed, not by me. What do you mean in chat? I can't find a brick and mortar address for Almighty Air even. From what I understand, it was supposed to be really close to I don't know what we need to confirm. I think it said Savanah's head was toward the window. I think he probably changed. He probably moved her head so when he was driving, like, she wasn't, didn't look like she was looking. If for people who unalive someone that they know, many times after they unalive them, they will cover their face or turn them around. Savanah's mom said she spoke with her on the 22nd, but then she said it was probably the 21st. Yeah, I mean, She had a lot going on in her mind, right? I'm so glad they were caught. They thought they would get away with it. They failed big time. All three locked up. Yes. The business address is the same as the home address. Is it me? I'm having a hard time digesting what they're selling. I feel bad. No one deserves to, but dang it, people stop doing bad things. Don't hate me for thinking this. No, Kimmy. I mean, I understand. I trust me. I understand. It's just a tragedy, that specifically, in my opinion, for the Soto family. Um, they've lost two. The business was a second home not far from the house. Yeah, from what I understand, it was really close to even where the car was parked. I heard Almighty Air used the older son's ad, Texas Biz with Corp, and would have the info. Had a baby seat thrown on her too. Yes. And I personally think that may have been done for two different reasons. Obviously, one, to make room for Matthew, and also to either hide or help cover her up so nobody could see her while he was driving. How was Matthew in the back, lying down or in a sitting position? So this is what it says in the report. Victim 2 was located in the second row behind the driver's seat. Victim 2's back was facing the left passenger door. And the victim's two legs were facing the right passenger door. Okay. So, yeah. Yep. I've read it. So his, make sure I'm reading it right. His back was facing the left passenger door. Okay, what I don't understand is, okay, it says his back was facing the left passenger door. So do they actually mean so his head would have been over here and his legs would have been this way? Right? His legs would have been toward the driver's side. Someone pulled him through. Yes. They would have had to open the back driver's side, open it, push him in, and then maybe open the other side and pull him in. They probably put Matthew in the back passenger seat, not in the front driver's side. So he was sitting up behind driver's seat. So he was sitting up behind driver's seat, back against the door with legs going passenger back door. No. Victim 2 was located in the second row. Oh, it does say behind the driver's seat. You're right. Victim 2's back was facing the passenger side door. Okay, so victim 2's back was facing the left. So it would have been like this. And his legs would have been got it. Okay. Someone he was leaned against the car, then through, yeah. Got it. Okay. Wound in back of the back is not consistent with self-defense as in a struggle. It said, let me see here. Once the door was open, I observed victim 1 in the passenger seat with her head facing the passenger side window. Blood coming from victim 1 nose, and victim 1 appeared to be pregnant. Let me go back to this one. Hold on. Shortly after covered as okay. It doesn't say in it doesn't say in this where, I mean, we know where the Matthew was shot at, but it doesn't say in this one right here. It just says once the doors were open, victim 1 in the passenger seat with her head facing the passenger side window, blood coming from her nose, victim's 1 nose, and victim 1 appeared to be pregnant. Victim 2 was located in the second row of the driver's seat. Victim 2's back was facing the left passenger door, and victim 2's legs were facing the right passenger door. Victim 2's pants were down to his knees. His pants were completely down. They sound like drag marks on his back from the dragging him out in front seat and into the back seat, probably dragged on the ground and inside of the door entrance of the car. Mm-hmm. I know, Leslie, it's sad. The door behind the driver's side door would be called the left passenger side. Right, as all doors other than the driver's door are passenger doors. Hold on. The door behind the driver's side door would be called the left. No, it's called it's called the left passenger. No, it's called the left driver's side. Well, I mean, maybe it would be called. Justin, if he was pulled in from the passenger side, would that explain his pants down a bit? If pulled in by his shoulders, he would be on the passenger side when potentially. His pants were always baggy to begin with. So it wasn't really just about anything would have pulled his pants down regardless of dragging him. Yes, 1 casing was found. Could have pew pew Matthew and then went through and struck Savanah since his was contact wound. I don't know. Pretty much saying his back was faced, driver side passenger door. Did law enforcement ever say where the blood came from? The door. It appeared to be a smear contact. Canvas, thank you, baby, for gifting 5 memberships, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you so much, my love. Appreciate you. Love you, love you, love you. Where you been? I haven't seen you. You okay? Um. Hey, FGTV. Oh no, you're good, Canvas. Good to see you. Cammy Sounds are scratching their heads saying, why didn't we think of that? There were pew-pew holes in the front window with splatter on the inside windshield. That's okay. It is what it is. I think I've done more than 3 in 24 hours, so there wasn't notifications that went out for most. Need exit wounds, then no exit wound found. Sometimes with the skull there is not an exit wound. But you would think with up close you would find an exit. But my girlfriend, her daughter was pew-pewed in the head right here, and there was no exit wound. It stayed in. It must have been pretty creepy driving. Yeah, I mean, I cannot imagine driving knowing you just did that. That's why I think he didn't drive very far. I hope that haunts him every night going to bed. I hope it haunts him every single night. Who is to say he didn't take the shell casing from Matthew with him? Possibly. That is true. Still think mama driver. You think so? It was quick. I was just wondering that since he was possibly pew-pewed outside of the car, that maybe one hit both, but at the same time. Okay. All right, guys. I want to tell you about this case that we're going to be doing. You got to hear this because it's a doozy. It's a doozy. We'll get back to the Soto case in just 1 minute, but I do want to say this before. Okay. All right. This is Ariana Ptarcinski is her name, the victim's name. You gotta hear this case. Florida parents want answers after teen stabbing was ruled a homicide, but no one was charged. Detectives never formally questioned the suspect. It's going to drive you nuts. It's going to drive me nuts. All right. Here is, in my opinion, the suspect. Brooksville, Florida. If we got any Florida people in here, have you heard about this case? Have you heard about this case? Hernando County teenager died after being stabbed in the neck early Christmas morning 2021. Police records said that the victim's boyfriend was the only other person in the room with her. Florida's 6th District medical examiner ruled the case a homicide. Yet, the I-team has learned detectives never held a formal interview with the boyfriend, and prosecutors declined to file charges. All right. So, Christmas morning, we have Ariana and her boyfriend. He allegedly stabs her in the neck, right? Nobody else was around. They never formally did an interrogation with him. And they have never formally did a they've never charged anybody at all. Okay? Eddie Ptarcinski said life was going well for his 18-year-old daughter, Ariana, on Christmas Eve 2021. Quote, she got her first job at Hobby Lobby. She was really excited about it. She got her license 4 days prior, Ptarcinski said. Happy, very happy. Ariana was celebrating the holidays with her family and her first boyfriend, Ramon. How do you pronounce his last name? Calderon? I'm pretty sure, but Calderon, yeah, Calderon Durst. He seemed like a nice kid, Eddie said. He said Ariana met him through friends after he moved to Florida from New Jersey. In December 2021, he was living with his grandmother in Ocala and working as an electrician apprentice in Orlando. So here is the couple. Here's the couple. He's living the good life. She is dead. This is a perfect reason why we, the community, shouldn't rush the process of law enforcement. Yeah, that's true. Durst had attended a family gathering with Ariana earlier in the evening on Christmas Eve and was planning to sleep on the family couch. According to reports, Ariana's 12-year-old sister, Isabel, was in the room watching a movie. Eddie had just returned to his bedroom after working in the garage. While his wife, Judy, had already gone to sleep, Eddie said that around midnight, Durst yelled. All of a sudden, I hear Eddie, Eddie screaming, and he's got my daughter by the neck, and she has blood coming out of her mouth and couldn't speak. I mean, there's blood everywhere, Eddie said. Eddie and Ariana collapsed, and he called 911. The recording of the 911 can be obtained by the I-team captured Eddie frantic call for help. Oh my God, Eddie screamed. My daughter's bleeding because her neck is cut. My daughter's neck is cut. There's another voice recording in the background of the 911 call, which Eddie identified as Durst. Quote, I fucked up, he screams. She was upset and she effing got a knife, dude. We was inside and heard the screaming, says Thomas Lebach. How do you pronounce his last name? I hate pronouncing their names wrong. Lobienko. He lived 4 houses down at the time and ran into the Ptarcinski's residence. Lobienko was one of the first people on the scene, according to the police report. The kid came out of the house covered in blood, and Eddie yelled at him, saying, "You effing killed her. You effing killed her," Thomas said. Thomas said he saw Durst charge at Eddie. The kid says, "Well, what the F does it matter? I'm going to jail anyway." The neighbor says. At that point, the neighbor said he punched Durst, breaking his own hand. This is crazy. This case is crazy. Yes. Okay. Eddie was taken to the Hernando County Sheriff's Office in handcuffs, processed for evidence, and interviewed by detectives. A girl comes from forensics. I said, "You guys think I did this?" Eddie said. They said, No, this is just protocol. Look at him. This is the boyfriend in freaking cut or got blood all over him. Never formally questioned y'all. This case gets me red hot. According to the detective's reports, I clarified with Edward that he was only assuming Ramon stabbed Ariana, and he agreed, affirming he was just assuming it. Edward then remembered that Ramon had stated, "I had the knife." Eddie's 12-year-old daughter, Isabel, was questioned by detectives without her parents present. That's against the law. She described that she overheard Durst say it in a recorded statement. He said he messed up or something. I don't know what he did, but he said he messed up. Isabel said after being put under oath by the detectives. Eddie's wife, Judy Ptarcinski, was held in a patrol car for hours. Police reports described her as, quote, very intoxicated. In a patrol car video released as evidence, Judy repeatedly asked the deputies for updates, and she wanted to be with her daughter at the hospital. "What's going on with my oldest daughter?" Judy asked. "I told you she's at the hospital. She had a blood transfusion and she was stable," the deputy responded. We have the video to that. They're treating the mother more like a suspect than they are the freaking killer. Oh, hold on. Hold on one second. Okay, we're gonna watch this later because this is the full video. We'll have to go over this later. That part later. All right. At one point, Judy requested to be allowed to use the restroom, but is refused. "I'm going to end up peeing on the floor. I don't want to do that. Can you please just open the door and let me pee outside? Can I?" Judy begged. I'm not allowed to let you out of the car," the deputy responded. "I told you it is what it is." Judy ended up having to relieve herself in the back of the patrol car. They wouldn't let the mother out of the freaking car, but they're letting this imbecile with blood all over him not even be questioned. "Why couldn't she go to the neighbor's house and go to the bathroom?" said Dr. David Thomas, a former police officer at the Florida Gulf Coast University criminology professor. "They could take her someplace, take her out into the bushes. They could have been reasonable about it. He did not want to incriminate himself. The I-Team asked Dr. Thomas, a nationally recognized policing expert, to review a 373-page report that Ptarcinski received from the state attorney's office. We requested the same report from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office, but our request was denied on the grounds that the stabbing was still an open investigation. The report said Durst was never read his Miranda rights and that he was not questioned about what happened because he did not want to incriminate himself. Suspects are arrested every day that refuse to give a statement. You don't need a statement to lay out the facts, Thomas said. He continued, now it's time to start digging and start looking into a relationship and get a much clearer picture of the relationship was all about. The report said text messages from Ariana and Durst phone showed an up and down relationship with arguing and fighting, including on the night she died. And he says, I deserve everything. Can you imagine a guy and you're the parents and they're at your house and this guy and your daughter comes out and he's dragging her and he's got a knife, right? And she's bleeding out her neck and he's screaming, I fucked up, and didn't do anything. Can suspects get off on a technicality? Yes. Can they get off? I don't know about getting off per se, but you can't use any of that in court if you didn't give them their Miranda rights because they were not warned that this could be used in a court of law or used against them. So there's that. One second. I need a drink. One second. What part of town it was? Brooksville, Florida. All right. The I-Team also obtained an hour-long video of Durst in the back of the patrol car waiting transport from the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. My life is over right now, Durst says. Look at this, guys. I'm just going to show you this briefly because we're going to end up going over all of this. I had to show them eventually. Yes, this really needs attention, this case. Come on with the... You know what I mean? You see the situation, Durst said. You see what I'm covered in, referring to his blood-soaked shirt. Look at this guy. Looks freaking evil. Let me see if I can get him talking. Where's he talking at? Give me 1 second. Oh, it wasn't playing.
Okay. Okay. Oh my God. What's the crime like here?
If I knew what was going on, I could tell you, but I don't.
What does the crime in this area have to do with me?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
I just asked what the crime was like in this area. Is there a lot of crime in this area?
Average?
Average is different depending on the place. My number is 302.
Who lives at this house that you were at?
My grandmother.
Your grandmother? Okay. What's her name?
Please, man. I don't want to bring her
Okay.
in.
All right, fine.
Does he look like he gives a shit about stabbing his girlfriend?
She's more.
No, I don't know if there was one or two or three. I don't know. Check me here.
He does look. There's a lot to this case. It's going to take a lot to break it down. It's fascinating. Yeah. Hello from Australia.
Excuse me?
Yes.
I forgot your name. I'm sorry.
Deputy Dowdell.
Dowdell. Hey.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure it out. You were out there in a physical fight with somebody's dad. That's all I know.
But I thought you knew what was going on.
No, I don't. That's what I keep trying to tell you.
Why are you talk about that?
Huh?
Why are you talk about that? Can you let me know, like, how, like, what's gonna happen? Like, we leave here and then what?
What's going to happen? We leave here, then what?
And then after the police station, after I arrive at the police station, then what happens?
I don't know. It depends on whatever went on here.
Does it?
You say you're from Ocala? What's your name? No, you didn't tell me.
Yeah, I did. I said I did.
I can't hear you.
He seems like an arrogant, yes, Durst, like Robert Durst. Yep. Except this guy is not charged at all. We're going to go over his interrogation too. Look at me. I deserve everything. The hatred of the world brought down upon me, Durst said. I'm so sorry for what I did, end quote. But hours after stabbing, Durst gets good news. All right, listen. We're going to get you out of here. We looked into the case a little bit further and we're not charging you with anything. A detective tells him in the video recording shot early Christmas morning inside an interview room with Hernando County Sheriff's Office. We're not going to charge you with anything right now. What? Merry Christmas? We want to get out of here? Probably have. I'll let that play for a second. I think you start knocking on those doors and answering those questions. The police officers were saying that it is self-inflicted, Eddie Ptarcinski said. Inside Ariana's room, deputies found a notebook containing a drawing from 15 months earlier depicting a female with her throat cut and blood coming out of her mouth and neck area, according to a report. Eddie said Ariana was an artist who liked horror movies and often drew graphic images, but was not suicidal. When asked how much emphasis he would put on that, Thomas replied, I would consider it. And then when the ME rules it is a homicide, I think you've got to go back and re-examine that. The District 6 medical examiner report said the manner of death of Ariana was a homicide that occurred when she was stabbed by others. So the medical examiner is saying homicide. Police are saying, nope, she drew a picture 10 months ago and she wanted to unalive herself, although her boyfriend is over here saying, I messed up, I effed up, I effed up. And as you see, manner of death, homicide. Here he is, by the way.
Oh, so if you're okay with that, we'll do that, and then when we're done, we'll get you out of here. Is that okay for you? You're okay with that?
Yeah. What does this mean?
Right now, they're not being charged.
You know.
We you think we want to screw you, but that's not the case. We want to make sure we do everything right. So
you certainly did not do it all right. All right. Thomas said the investigators should also be reconstructed the crime scene to see if it was possible to tell how the stabbing happened, but the report doesn't indicate what ever happened. They were trolling social media as Eddie and Judy began a social media campaign to try to get answers months after Ariana's death. They said they faced pushback from investigators and prosecutors. On the 373 page report, 173 consisted of social media posts, emails sent by Eddie, and copies of new accounts of the investigation. They were trolling social media to see what the public thought about it rather than talking to the people who were there that night, said Thomas. If anybody said anything bad about the department, they just circled it, and that was it. That's pretty much what their investigation was, Eddie said. So, is he a rich kid and now I get away with it? Well, it's not even so much the suspect as it is the police. That's what it, throw her out to the sharks. Yeah. So we're still trying to, get justice for Ariana. There is a lot to this, and we're going to be talking about it in depth very soon. Are the fingerprints on the knife object used to cut her neck? Not sure about that yet. Not sure about that. We are just starting this case. We're going to be going over the back seat the night it happened, the interviews, the interrogation, which they never did. They never formally questioned him. Hey, domestic, they never formally questioned him at all. At all. So there's a lot. A lot. All right, y'all. So we'll be doing a live for that tomorrow as well. Yeah, we're just starting the digging process on that. I just wanted to speak a little bit about that on this live today, at least. Lazy and incompetent investigators, absolutely. I think it was Christmas and they wanted to get out of there. And that's just it. Oh, thank you. That would be nice. Let's see. Give me 1 second here. Damn it, where'd it go? Okay. Let me find where we're talking about. Okay, I'll read the last little bit if you want me to. All right. They're trying to see what the public's assessment is of their work. I don't know why they would put it in the file, said Dr. David Thomas. Acts of negligence cannot be made criminal. In August 2023, the state attorney's office decided not to charge Durst, saying in a letter, an on-scene investigator determined there was no probable cause to arrest Ramon Calderon Durst. The letter went to say the filing decision is not based on the lack of quality of the investigation or the lack of investigation efforts by the sheriff's office. And although the medical examiner office listed Ariana's death as a homicide, police or Florida courts have historically held that the acts of negligence cannot be made criminal regardless of the loss of human life without mens rea. That's defined as the Oxford Dictionary as the intention of knowledge of wrongdoing that constitutes part of a crime. But Dr. Thomas said that doesn't prevent a suspect from being charged with any crime. We have charges of manslaughter who actually deal with that, he said. We don't know exactly what happened in the room, but all we know is that our daughter is not here and that no charges against the kid whatsoever, Eddie said. No charges have been filed against Ramon Durst or anyone else in this case. The Hernando County Sheriff's Office, the state attorney's office, and Durst attorney all declined interviews. Attempts to reach Durst were unsuccessful. So there's that. There's that. All right, y'all. I'm going to jump off of here. I appreciate you all very much. I've got such a migraine. I've had one for like 2 days. So appreciate you all. It's you just we haven't even broke bread with it. It's going to be a lot. I love you all. Thank you, Penelope. 3 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all for being here. I love you all. We'll see you guys tomorrow at some point, Lord willing. Love you all. Good night. God bless.